Welcome back, you guys, to AG University podcast. It is I, your professor at Anna Grace Newell on all major platforms, and of course at AG University on AG University podcast on Instagram, which is our own official AG University collective. You guys, we just hit over 3,000 followers on that page, which I'm so proud of because starting a new Instagram page over at zero after I had like well over 100K felt daunting. But you know what? Imagine 3,000 dancing unicorns in a room together. We would take over the world. So I truly do feel like the AG University podcast page is my community. Not that I don't feel that way with my main Instagram, but I still think there are a lot of people on my main Instagram that have been following me for years and years and years and don't even really know what I do when it comes to the podcast or Akashic Records. And I feel like you guys just really see me. So I always want to say thank you so much for being a part of this community. It means the world to me. And I can't wait for us to, I hope, all 3,000 of us get together in a room. That's the vision. That's the vision, baby. So it's a new day. It's a new dawn. I feel as though I might smack you guys around a little bit, but I want you to know this is always coming from a place of love. But I got this download earlier this month that November is a massive growth portal. And that for me means personally growth in sharing my gifts and speaking and allowing new people to find me on social media and other platforms. But I truly believe a growth portal is whatever it means for you. This could be growth in your personal life, growth in your love life, just massive growth. I keep seeing this like quantum leap where we're like jumping into this new timeline where we're assimilating with our highest version of self. And there are going to be months where it's like all we're doing is shedding and going within and like winter and all the things. But this November, I'm feeling it. Like I have a fire lit under my ass and I'm about to light one under y'all's ass because that's just, I could sense this podcast brewing in me. So anyways, for those of you guys who didn't see the social media post, I try to always do some kind of monthly forecast or a monthly message from our angels, and it goes out in the newsletter. Usually the newsletter sees everything first and then it trickles into social media. Definitely join our newsletter if you haven't. It is a super intentional newsletter. And also if you ever want to schedule a reading with me or learn more about anything that I'm doing, retreat information will be linked in the show notes. Everything else is always in the newsletter. Man, sometimes my accent lately has just been, I've been saying all kinds of kooky words. Newsletter. If you ever want to book a one-on-one with me, there are a bajillion accounts impersonating me. I ran into someone the other day in Seaside. She was like, "Oh my gosh, you reached out to me. You sent me a message." And I was like, man, I'm really losing it. I do not know what she's talking about. I just don't remember that at all. Wow, I was in a blackout. And then it turns out it was a fake account. And I was like, I'm so sorry. That wasn't me. And I'm so embarrassed because they always use they're like, "Hello, my dearly beloved. I am sensing something in your aura. Let me read for you." And I'm like, bro, I would never say that to y'all. Please. I hope y'all don't think I'm that weird. But I immediately was like, no, that wasn't me. I'm so sorry. Please find my real account and I will never ever message anyone. So I always like to reiterate that on the podcast. The newsletter is our safe space. And I promise I won't spam you. We tried to send out 2 a month. Sometimes we hit 2, sometimes we hit 1, but it's very gentle and it's always super fun and there's some intuitive guidance or message there. Okay. So the reason that I've just been feeling extra lit up is one, we've got this November growth portal. And I realized that posting short form content and just even creating content in general is something that I feel I've always been really good at and I've just always posted. But within the last year, I think sharing more of my true self, which I feel like is my spiritual side, my spiritual gifts. But I always want to remain true to who I am. Like I love fashion, I love dance, I love all these things. But sharing that felt much more sacred to me. I was not open to receiving negative feedback. And I just had this total aha moment. And I've talked a lot about on here, like just being bullied and cyber bullies and just people being just honestly really hateful and awful on the internet. And I've been on the internet since 2015. This is not my first rodeo, but this was different. This was like, I felt like I was showing people this like really, really, really vulnerable, authentic version of me. And, it just kind of got attacked, and I sort of couldn't find my footing on how I wanted to show up in this space. Like, the podcast is like 100% me. Like, this is my zone of genius, and this comes so easy and so natural to me. It's more of like TikTok and other places, kind of like rebranding my main Instagram page, all of that, because it just took me a little bit of time to figure out, like, what do I even want to do? Do I want to continue sharing some of the old information that I used to share that people used to follow me? I love sharing this new stuff, but then getting a lot of hate from people. And I had this moment where I was like, you know what? Anytime people hate on me or shit on me or say anything, that's what they want. They want me to not post. They want me to not show up. So why would I give them what they want? What the fuck? Like, that's exactly what they want. And I say that to all of you guys because there is something that you want to do and you're scared of what other people think. And you know what? They want you to be scared. They want you to not post. They don't want you to be successful because it's some part of their life they're not successful, and it's a reflection of them, and it's a projection of where they're at, the discomfort in their life, the lack of success in their life, and they can't root for you. And it's very unfortunate because I don't wear that lens. I'm rooting for everyone all of the time because I just know that makes the world go round. More abundance for you, more abundance for me. Yippee, we all win. We're not fighting over the same slice of pie. Okay, there's plenty of pie to go around. So I don't wear that lens. But I just had these massive realizations in the last few months where I'm like, I am only now it's like it's given me this like ignite in me to only post more. like I felt like for a year I just kind of kept being like, I don't really know what I want to say or post or whatever. And I think that was just me just bullshitting. I was just really dicking around. I think I was making excuses. And so that's why I'm here for any of you guys who are making excuses. We're going to zap them today. Okay. Because we're all here to do the thing. Remember, that is the core foundation of reconnecting you with your intuition and your soul's purpose, which is what is my soul's purpose. So we're all working together here. My soul's purpose is to get to you, to your soul's purpose, and for you to do the thing. So if you're ready to do the thing, listen to this whole episode, take notes. As always, share it to somebody who also needs to do the thing because your time is now. Growth portal, November. And here's the thing. Even though this podcast is coming out mid to late November, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we've still got time and we can always access growth portal energy. That is just an energy and it's ignited inside of me. And I'm like, let's carry it all the way in to 2024. Is that the year we're going into? I can't even remember. Yes, 2024. 2024. I'll have another kind of year-end review coming out, but I'm like, let's just keep this going, okay? We have the ability to tap into whatever type of growth energy we want. It really just starts with showing up, okay? Taking action, taking action, taking action, taking action. I'm going to say it until I'm blue in the face, probably in this podcast episode, because that's where I'm at. I am taking massive action. And the only reason that I haven't been before was one, I just don't think I was making it enough of a priority, or two, maybe I was playing a little bit small. And I just realized I'm like, that's exactly what people want me to do. They want me to play small. Fuck them. No, I'm not like, I can't even believe that I've allowed people to affect me. I've allowed these people who don't have any level of success or even show up on social media. They don't even know what it's like. And then for them to tell their story. So I think that's a very common thing. And I want you guys to know, whoever is trying to make you feel small, you need to spin that and allow, like, I want you to absorb that. You know what I watched recently? I watched the David Beckham documentary. You guys know Austin and I have like a long time running Spice Girls reference. That's how we met. It's for another story. You can watch the video on YouTube, how we met. But anyways, so we, I love Posh. Okay. We had to tune in to the David Beckham documentary. And there was like the scene where he messes up in the World Cup. And you guys know people that are football fans, football as in soccer, American soccer, but football fans, it is their lifestyle. It is, they ride or die. It's all they have. I feel like, to really come together and cheer. And I mean, it's huge. The culture, I couldn't even grasp it. Me, barely a sports girly, somehow ends up about to marry a football coach. I don't know, but I don't know a lot about sports, but I know that these people are crazy. So basically, he messes up in the World Cup and he gets so much hate, like an obscene amount of hate. Like 75,000 people are booing him, boo in this arena. Like, could you imagine from an energetic standpoint? And this man, at first, he bobbles, and I think that's a normal thing. We're all gonna bobble. At first, he bobbles and he's like, kind of like, I'm kind of spiraling, I'm falling apart. But then he just turns into like an animal and he like absorbs all the hate and becomes a fucking rock star. And he's like, I don't know. I would love to pick his brain, learn what happened, what the mental switch was or the energetic there. But I feel like I'm there. I've gotten so much attention lately. And that does not always mean it's positive attention, but that's part of that's I'm like, that's show business, it's part of the game. You're going to get a lot of heat or negativity. And this could be from your freaking weird cousins from Idaho at Thanksgiving. I don't know, but someone is going to put the pressure on you and they're not going to see the vision and they're going to just poo poo you or boo you or whatever because it's their own stuff. Okay. It's their own stuff. But we have the ability to take that, absorb that. That's still energy. Okay. Even though it's not negative energy, but we're going to transmute it into light. And the way that we transmute it into light is that, first of all, we don't allow that into our front door, which is our head. That's our portal. We let it bounces off of us, right? Because we are doing our energetic protection practices, baby. Always linked in my bio. I mean, always linked in the show notes. We're doing our practices. We're rooted in our truth. We're rooted in ourself, and we're not going to allow people to sway us. And from there, we take that energy and we say, thank you. I'm going to absorb this energy, transmute it into light by taking action on what I'm here to do. Allowing all the energy. It's like people say, what is it? All press is good press, even if it's not actually good press. But I've actually leaned into that lately. I'm like, you know what? Hell right. Let's send it. Take action. No matter what people are saying, they want to keep you small. They wanted to run Beckham off. Did he? No. And that man is a legend. Okay. He played football and was the best football player for the rest of his career. And I don't know, I was really inspired by that documentary. I even told my therapist all about it in therapy. I was like, I have something to say about David Beckham. And she's like, where are we going with this, AG? But you get it. You can transmute any situation from darkness into light. And that's something that I'm really playing with. I used to be like, everything needs to be positive. All my feedback needs to be positive, and everything that I do and touch, I'm like, it's okay. We're all going to have darkness around us, whether that's people that don't believe in us, whether it's darkness within ourselves, which darkness is really just fear. It's fear that's holding us back. That's all it is. It is fear. It is nothing truly to be afraid of. And it's okay if we sit with that and we allow ourselves to sit in this darkness of, why am I bothered by what other people think? Why am I scared to show up this way? Why am I scared to post? And what excuses am I making? And with that being said, this is another little segue that I would like to talk about in the terms of darkness. Darkness to me really just represents fear or limitations that we put on ourselves. Sure, there's a lot of heavy shit going on in the world right now. It is a heavy time. And I think there is a lot of heightened emotions that heightens in other people who do not have a good foundation of themselves, and it really bobbles them. And there's a lot going on. And so I want us to all take a moment, and one, we can accept that we can sit with these hard feelings, we can learn from them because that's what we are here to do. But ultimately, on this podcast, when it comes to our personal development, that's all we can control, right? We can control what we can control. And when it comes to our personal development and our day to day life and our relationships, that's where I always want to really encourage you guys to take ownership. And this was another kind of a caveat of the darkness that this struck me. It's punched me in the face. Literally had to almost pull my car over and write this down because I was driving. I live off of a really busy highway. It's actually honestly like a very dangerous. It's like a two-way street, and it's a super fast highway. But so I cannot catch me never ever ever looking at my phone because I can barely drive on a straight line looking with both hands on the wheel because I like to look around. I'll be talking with my hands. Austin's like, stay focused, please. I'm so scared of you. So anyways, I almost ran off the dang road because I needed to write this down so fast. So I'm listening to an Akatar book. Okay. You didn't see that coming, did you? This is what inspired me. Now that I have really stepped more into my role as a spiritual teacher and mentor to so many different people, I've realized that I'm like, damn, I'm pretty wise inside of just AG and tapping into the Akashic Records and my meditation practice and my journal practice. I've been consuming a lot less. I don't even listen to podcasts anymore because I don't ever want to subconsciously take that information in and then start teaching people that. Like, I really like to be a blank canvas. And so I used to listen to tons of spirituality books. I think it's amazing if you're just getting started. Like, I've read a ton. But lately I've been reading fantasy books because one, I still think there's a lot of magic in them and there's things to be learned that and things that we can apply in our day-to-day life from any book. A rom-com, smut, you name it, you can find something that is a good takeaway if you're wearing that lens, you know? But I've been reading a lot of fantasy books. I love fairies and magic, and everyone recommended A Court of Thorns and Roses. The acronym for that is ACOTAR. So I'm on book 3, I believe, and book 2 is my favorite so far. But book 3, this was the line that I heard and I was like, "Oh," that was one that I like had to stop and immediately write it down on my phone. So the scene is, and I won't ruin it if you haven't read the book or you plan to read the books. This is like a very small scene, but the scene is this creature that lives in the darkness, and they need this creature that lives in the darkness to fight for the good side, right? And so the queen of the high court, Feyre, she goes down there and she says, "Hey, if you'll fight for us, I will free you. Please name your price. What is it that you want to be freed?" And this is like the second character of the book that is a prisoner somewhere. And the creature says, "No, thanks. This is my home. I live here in this little dark jail cell. This is where I live and I like it here." And Feyre, the queen, the main character, she says, "Another prisoner who's fallen in love with his cell." And I was like, "Oh, that's it." Like, that is how I feel, you guys, about so many people in my life. So many people that are just walking around lost, stuck, confused. They are so damn comfortable. It doesn't matter if they live in a jail cell. Jail cell, like these creatures in this book that I'm reading, they're so comfy there and they so don't want to feel anything outside of their comfort zone that they'd rather just stay locked up. And this metaphorical jail that I'm referencing here is the mental place that we put ourselves in our brain. These constrictions, this jail that this box that we lock ourselves in. "Oh, I don't want to do that because I'm scared if it doesn't go over well," or I don't want to do this because I'm scared what these people think," or "I don't know if I could actually ever do that because what if I don't make money there?" And then I'm going to, all of those things have not yet happened. All you are doing is creating a mental prison for yourself. And I know this because I've lived in that mental prison. Okay. So I'm not saying that I've not been there. I've been there. But I want everybody, as we enter into this new year of 2024, to take inventory of what mental prison am I living in? And by that, where am I so damn comfortable that I don't want to give up anything? I don't want to change anything. I don't want to do anything differently because I don't want to feel discomfort or uncertainty. Do you know how boring it would be if we had guaranteed outcome of every single thing in our life? We would be bored to tears. We would, honestly, we'd probably just like evolve out of this human existence because there'd be nothing for us to learn. Like uncertainty as a human being, I know people don't love it, they don't look for it, but we need it in order to grow and evolve. And so I want to encourage you guys, like this, all of this information came to me, I know, for a reason. I wrote that down and I was like, I have to record a podcast about this. This is priority number 1. I had other podcast ideas that I felt were a priority. And this one just kept coming up. Like I thought about it multiple times and I was like, everyone needs to hear this because I feel we as a species, we love to just get comfy, cozy, snug as a bug. And I think that's great. I am all about being in our soft girl era, being in our feminine energy, all the things. And that doesn't mean that all of a sudden we have to like, go into our go worker bee mask energy. No, no, no. It's just looking around and being like, "Damn, did I really just lock myself in this jail cell for a year?" Because for me, I feel like the cell is constantly evolving. For this past year, it was me just being too chicken shit to show up more and talk about the Akashic Records and all these things when I know that's my zone of genius. That's my soul's purpose. That's my gift. Realistically, not so much fashion and all these other things, but I'm like, "Oh, well, that's what people want to see. And I'm going to do this like song and dance, like a little show pony." Like, what? No, because I'm like, well, maybe they won't understand it. Do you hear this? Do you hear me making excuses? They're all excuses. They're just things that I made up in my head. Oh my gosh. And then the moment that I've come out sharing more and more and more, I'm gaining more attention, more audience, more followers. My page for a whole ass year, I was at 119,000 followers. And you know what? I don't like that number. For some reason, it didn't sit right with me. As a girly number, I'm like 119, can't be 120, can it? Or like even 117. I don't know. No, I did not gain or lose a follower for 1 year. And that was the year that I felt like I was kind of paralyzed a little bit with what to say and how to show up because I was allowing so many people's opinions in. And I built myself this nice little cozy jail cell. And I said, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to maybe post, maybe not, maybe talk about it, maybe talk about some other things over here and distract myself. I don't know. I don't know. And I just kept basically saying, I don't know what to say, or I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to bridge the gap. Bitch, you aren't even trying. I'm talking to me. Okay. So let me be thy example. For a year, up until I don't know, month and a half, 6 weeks ago, maybe, I decided, fuck it, to the window, to the wall. What am I doing? Anna Grace, you have so much knowledge. Like, truly, me to me, I am one of the most knowledgeable people in my own life. Like, I give myself advice. What are you doing? I have grown 8,000 followers in the last 6 weeks because I just decided I don't care. I don't even care if people don't like it or comment it or they send it their group message and talk shit about me and say she's really gone off her rocker. I don't care. But you know what I did? I got the key because the crazy thing is we all have the key. And I unlocked the jail cell and I walked out and said, wait a minute. It's not so bad out here. I just made that all up in my head. I made up this whole ass narrative, this whole ass story that for some reason I was going to be shunned by society, not accepted or loved or worthy. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. Or it was just the fact of, I think that was the big one. It was that I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to do it. Take action. That is the next part. That's why I keep saying you don't have to. And I'm still in the fundamentals of figuring it out. I am figuring it out every single day. I don't have all the answers, but I realized I had created this jail cell for myself, basically playing like, la la la, I don't know, I'm going to take my time. Granted, I had a lot of other crazy things that life threw at me, but still, I can still always show up and post because I love talking about this stuff. I love this podcast. I am so passionate. I am so passionate about this. And that's how I know it's what I meant to do because I feel good in this role. It excites me. I love helping people. I want to get people together. My vision for how I see AG University going is huge. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning because I see how this work and helping people and connecting them with the Akashic Records and connecting with their soul's purpose. I see how it changes people's lives dramatically overnight. Overnight. I mean, the clarity, the amount that we can free ourselves overnight just from having awareness is insane. And that to me gets me up out of bed every day. Here's the thing. Has it always been that way for me? No. At one point, I was like, I have worked 9 to 11 other careers before I got here. I want you guys to know that. And I can give some breakdowns on that. And I'm 30. Do you know how many jobs that is? That's a lot. It's a lot of jobs. And 4 or 5 of those were my own businesses that I launched. And I decided, I'm going to close that one up. I'm going to try something else. I pivoted. It doesn't matter. I've never stopped taking action. Even if I had last year, a whole year of really no growth, even though the podcast went #1, I had a bunch of stuff. I had a lot of new people find me, but I lost a lot of people who weren't into this stuff. They weren't into spirituality. And I lost them. And I was like, good riddance. I'd rather you leave than send me hate messages. So goodbye. I don't care. Don't need you here. I'll find people who want this work or who want this information. I was never twisted about that. Now, I think I could have been growing. I think I didn't need the information that I got in the Akashic Records. Just like, hey, this is a growth portal. Take advantage of it. And I'm like, wow, you're right. And then look at this. Videos going viral because I'm just showing up, not caring, and I'm detached from the outcome. But most importantly, I'm taking action. The way to get out of your jail cell is very simple. First of all, you have the key. You built the cell and you locked yourself in there. And I know that's hard to hear. I'm so sorry. And I want you to sit with yourself and say, what jail cell am I sitting in right now? What excuse have I been telling myself forever? That I'm going to go to the gym, that I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to make new friends, I'm going to go on a date when I what? What's your excuse? What is it? Because listen, I love to make up an excuse as good as the next girly, but I will stare myself in the mirror and I will say, why are you telling yourself this story? It is a story that you've made up. And so I want you to be so brutally honest with yourself because you have the key. You can walk outside that little jail cell and you can smell the fresh air. And here's the thing. Not everything's going to be guaranteed outside of that jail cell, but that's okay. Because as long as you are taking action every single day, doing one thing that you feel is in alignment with whatever it is that you want to do, walking 10,000 steps, that's it. That's all it is. What if it's just that? drinking some extra water. I mean, y'all, I'm not telling you have to go out and launch, you don't have to run out of your cell and launch a business. If you feel compelled, please do so. And I hope this podcast motivated you to do so. But that's not what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. We just get so paralyzed by fear. And as a normal thing as a human being, we will all experience it. We are all operating on the same emotional scale. And you know what I realized this week? I have done in the last 2 weeks, I've done 4 readings for the CEO, the highest level executive of 4 different companies. 2 of these companies over multi, tens and tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars. And they have self doubt. They have self doubt. They have fears. They have things. They come to me, Anna Grace, help me. How can we access my Akashic records for me to clear this X, Y, and Z? So I want you to know that everybody who even is operating at a super high level of success, they all have self-doubt. They all have worry and they all have fear. It's not going to go away. You don't need to think, "Oh, I'm feeling these thoughts and emotions for a reason." Sure, maybe sometimes, but 90% of the time that's just an old story that's just looping in your head and you're just repeating it over and over. And at the end of the day, it's normal. But do you know what sets them apart? Do you know what the one thing in common with all of these super important CEO people that I sit with and I read with? Do you know what they do? One, they receive the information that I tell them. Two, they take action, even when they're scared and even when it doesn't make sense. They take action. They keep marching. They just keep going. I sat with one person a few weeks ago who was like, I got really upside down last year, got really in the weeds, really lost my course. And you know what? That was just a part of her path so that she could then go on and teach people how to find their way back. If you've fallen off the wagon, this is how you find your way back. There is always a learning lesson. I promise you. Even if right now you're like, it doesn't make sense and I'm sitting in the dark, somebody turn the lights on. It's me. Hi, I'm turning the lights on for you. It's a learning lesson. There's something for you to learn. And the moment that you can turn on the awareness, we're turning on the light because we're looking around and we're like, oh, the universe doesn't hate me. No one hates me. I just needed to learn something about me in the situation. And the faster that we learn the lesson, the faster that we get out of the situation. And a lot of times people just want to sit. I always tell Austin that. Like, sometimes, dating me is, I will really give you a kick in the pants. And Austin hears it too. Like sometimes I will say, I'm like, listen, we're not going to poop our pants and sit in it. Okay. We're not going to have these things going on and basically in our control, ways that we're feeling that we don't like how we're feeling, and we're not just going to sit in it. I am such a let's take action girly. And I feel like the easiest way for you to take action truly is to create some type of forward momentum in your body. If you can walk around, if you can, because here's the thing, it's tricky for us to think our way out of these things. I want you to just today, I want you to take a lap around wherever it is, the block, the mall, your office. I want you to just take a little walk. And I want you to just think to myself, I'm moving my body, I'm creating forward momentum. Energy body, physical body, there's a direct correlation in both of them. So when we start moving, that's actually allowing there to be flow in our energy body. That's why I'm so interested in this movement, like physically doing more intuitive movement, channeled movement, Akashic Records movement, hybrid things, collaborations. I don't even know what it looks like. But I'm so into it because it makes so much sense because our physical body and our energy body, they feed off of each other. Our mind, body, spirit, all connected. All connected. Any physical ailment that's showing up in your body right now, there's a spiritual root to it. No questions asked. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if they're not spiritual. There's a reason. Right now, I have freaking tendonitis in my elbow so bad it's driving me freaking bananas. And you know what it's from? It's from being too connected to my phone. I am absorbing freaking negative energy or some kind of something from social media. I'm looking at my phone too much and I need to be more present in my life. So what starts happening? My arm starts hurting. Also, I need to hire an assistant. I quite literally need an extra hand. Do you see what's going on there? The spiritual lessons that I'm getting? Because when something is going on in your body, there's a reason. Your body is stressed out. It's asking for help. It's asking for relief. Maybe it's asking for movement. I don't know, but there's something there because your energy body and your physical body, they are connected. They are connected. So allow that to just sink in. I got to take a deep breath. Y'all didn't expect me to come that hard for you today. But I am. I hope this I want you. I want you to succeed. I want you to live the life of your dreams. I want you to feel loved and adored by your beautiful significant other that you are manifesting. Even if you're in a relationship, you can still manifest a new level of love in that relationship. It's never over, okay? Don't just lock yourself in this jail cell and say, it is what it is. maybe in another life. No, no, you can change anything at any point. I promise. Anything. Everything in this reality is so much more malleable than we realize. Our little human brain is just very sees what it is, and sees it's like, oh, well, that's what it is. But it's like, no, there's so much more energy and energetics going on behind everything that if we just trusted in the process that we can change anything. Everything is up to our belief system. Whatever we believe, and so it is. And that is just how our reality is built. It's built off of our belief system. And at any point, you can change your belief system. But first things we got to do, turn the lights on. We got to stop sitting in the dark. We're turning the awareness on, and we're just looking around and saying, what cell am I sitting on? I'm ready to set myself free. Anna Grace told me this week, I don't want to sit here anymore. I don't want to. And this was another thing that got me too, was like, a year from now, one full year from now, 365 days, 52 weeks, if you are in this same exact scenario, say whatever it is, you're working the same job, you have the same amount of income, you are in the same relationship, or you've got the same group of friends who are not supporting you or soul nourishing you at all, and you have the same exact thing going on for one full year, how pissed would you be about? I want you to really focus on what part would actually piss you off the most. That you're like, Anna Grace, for real? It's been a year and you're still sitting in that poopy diaper? Take it off, bitch. Change. What are we doing? Like, that's where I start to, it's terrifying when you really think of 1 year from now, if I'm in this exact same situation. Ew, no, 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 no. Change is inevitable. We are always changing. You don't have to try to change. Change is just going to come. It's going to come every single day. We are changing and evolving and growing. All we really need is a little bit of intention and some action steps. So that has really been the just absolutely lighting a flame up my ass of one, moving more. Like, quite literally, I will go on walks. I will talk out loud. I am talking to myself. I am saying gratitude. I am calling in new ideas. I am just allowing there to be a lot of movement and flow in my energy body so that I can show up and create in a way that feels very fluid and authentic to me. Because at the end of the day, we are here to feel good. We are here to live a life that feels good to us. We're not here to work ourselves into the ground. That's not what I'm telling you to do. I'm telling you to take action on the things that are going to make you feel excited or lit up. And sure, that's going to be uncomfortable at first because it's new. It's foreign territory. I don't know how it's going to be received. I'm currently right now re-strategizing a lot of things. I mean, all of these massive branding meetings. We actually just got the cutest AG University crest. Y'all are going to die. It's so cute. I want to do merch. I want to do bigger events. I'm like, I want to do all the things, you know? But so every single day, I have to show up. I've got to listen to my intuition in order for me to allow flow into my life so that all of these ideas can percolate, because I don't know what the how is. I don't know what the how is. I surrender. I don't get fixated on the how. I know what the big vision is. And the thing for me to do right now is to take action every single day, which is moving my body, taking care of myself, taking time to journal, listening to my intuition, showing up on social media, talking, using my gifts, which is this recording on the microphone, whatever it is that you know you should be doing, but you're like, well, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. No, you're going to do it. Okay. Tomorrow. I want you to go on a walk today. I want you to get real with yourself. Take a look at this jail cell that you're in, and you're going to unlock it, and you're going to walk out in your head. Visualize that. I've got the key. I just put it in your pocket. Okay. I want you to imagine you're reaching in that pocket. You're opening your jail cell, and you said, I'm going to take a stroll outside because I've been really tired of sitting in this cell. I know I just absolutely beat that metaphor into your brain, the jail cell one. But it really struck me that ferociously when I heard the quote in the book. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, that is so true. And I want to share that also because I am in the, I'm always moving and shaking over here. I tell you guys this like every episode, but I like to tell you guys what I'm working on because I used to be someone who constantly needed to have the final product and then I would tell people about it, but it's not realistic, especially with this podcast, because I think there's so many teachable moments when I'm in the thick of it. I'm constantly in the thick of it. Like I've told you guys before, I've started so many businesses that have just absolutely gone nowhere. Have made me no money. And then I stopped and then I pivoted. But you know what? I've learned something valuable from every single one. All of them make sense now when I look back in hindsight because I have so many skills. And I don't have any shame that things that I started and ideas that I had didn't work out. I was excited about them in the time. I followed my excitement. I'm proud of myself for listening to my intuition. I'm proud of myself for following my excitement. There was something there for me to learn. And now I have so many different facets of this business. AG University is truly like an actual university. And I know so many different weird caveats about so many other things that all of those past businesses, which some people could call past failures, have taught me. So you're never moving in the wrong direction. There's no wrong direction. You just got to move. You just got to start moving. And this is one example of where I'm just truly in the thick of it. So when I was in LA, you guys, if you haven't caught the Kristen Such episode about money, so good. You need to stop what you're doing and then come back to this. It's the best. It's just the best money episode. I love to talk about money, and Kristen Such she's amazing. So she comes on the podcast. She drove up from San Diego, and we'd been talking about linking up because she's from Ponte Vedra and we have, similar interests. And it's hard to find a spiritual girly who I just really jive with. And then she just happens to live in my neighborhood. And I'm like, wow, oh my gosh, Ponte Vedra girl, what's up? So we just have been talking about linking. Anyways, she drove in from San Diego, so it was a bit of a further drive. And after we recorded our podcast, I was like, we went to Erewhon. I was like, let me, buy you a smoothie, or let's hang, let's do something so we could catch up and connect, because that was like our first time really connecting IRL. So we're getting a smoothie. We seriously talked for like at least 2.5 hours. I don't know, a long time out in front of Erewhon. And obviously, you guys know she is an angelic channel too, which is a similar vein to Akashic Records. She's so tapped in. And at one point, she starts going, Anna Grace, I just really feel like you need to do some type of a membership. Like you need like a community portal, like a membership portal. And I was like, really? Okay. And, she's a business coach too. So I was like, I've just launched courses. I just merged to Kajabi literally last month. So this is another brand new venture. So many things. Another thing I had so much resistance to. I didn't want to do it. And you know what my story is that I say, like, I'm not really a tech girly. I don't really know how. You know what, Anna Grace? Hire someone. Watch a YouTube video. Figure it out. You know what? I did. I watched like 3 hours of YouTube videos and I figured it out. But that was just an example of a story I was telling myself. So I merged to Kajabi and I told her, I was like, I had an intuitive hit that I needed to merge to Kajabi. So my How to Read the Akashic Records course is now available on Kajabi. But that's like the first one that I've put there. And I really didn't even know why I was called to that platform. And she was like, you need a community. I'm just like, I keep hearing that while I'm talking to you. And I really value and respect her opinion. So I was like, okay, you guys, an hour later, like, so we probably got like smoothie and hung from like 3 to 5. I like an hour later, like 6:30, I had a dinner scheduled. And when I'm in LA, I'm just like back to back to back to back to back. I'm smacked with I want to see everyone that I can while I'm there and also record as much as I can. And I went to dinner with Tatiana, who's our girly from the bedside, another great podcast if you guys haven't. She's my sexpert girly. And she always calls herself, she's like, I'm like a baby psychic. Like I'm just now flourishing and playing in my spiritual gifts. And I'm like, no, Tatiana, you're tapped in. And so we were just kind of talking about it, and she was sitting there across from the dinner. You guys keep in mind, like I've just met with Kristen earlier, like 2 hours earlier, and Tatiana looks at me and she's like, I just have this like intuitive hit that I just need to tell you, I really feel like you need to do a membership. And I'm like, bruh, 2 people in the last like 5 hours have been telling me I have something on my heart. I'm hearing this. I need to tell you. I'm like, well, damn. And this is where I started creating a gel cell. Okay. So I'm going to take you guys through this. Last year, I had the idea of wanting to do a membership. I've had that intuitive ping. I've had that intuitive download. And I created a Patreon, which was awesome at the time because it got me comfortable talking on camera and talking more about meditation and spirituality because I had never done that before. However, I did not have the podcast yet. I was not fully out of the spiritual closet of really sharing my gifts. And also, it was very hard to get people past the pay barrier because they really didn't know what they were getting in Patreon. So to me, after 6 months or so, and I was hoping that people would tell me more of what they wanted, but I wasn't showing up fully as myself yet because I was still getting comfortable playing in my gifts, sharing them, talking about them. So as you can see, it was a little murky on both sides. They're kind of like, what are we getting? And I'm kind of like, what am I offering? And I'm kind of like, what do you guys want? And they're like, I don't know. You tell us. And it was successful for a few months, but I wasn't lit up by it and people just didn't have enough clarity. And I ended up closing it. Now, some people could view that as a failure. Me, no. I got so much more confident talking on camera. Producer Courtney, that's how I found producer Courtney, who now produces my podcast, who also produces Shannon's. There were so many important people that came into my life when I was looking to start a Patreon. So there was a lot of important pieces and people that came into my life. The membership, I ended up closing it down, but it was fine. Everyone was super sweet and supportive. And they're like, we can't wait to see what AG University turns into. Because I hadn't even come up with the name AG University. I was like, hey guys, we're going to be, relaunching elsewhere. So when I have all of my dear friends who I love and trust come to me saying, I want you to start a membership, I immediately in my head was like, oh, nope, I don't want to. One, I started going, I don't know how. That's really one I love to tell. Wow, I'm like, oh, I don't know how to do that. Interrace. We live in a world where you can look up literally anything online. Shut up. You can. One, I was like, I don't really know how to do a membership on Kajabi. I literally just got on Kajabi. And then I'm going, and I already did a membership and it didn't really work out. Or it was confusing. It was like hard to get people to sign up because they couldn't see anything inside the pay barrier. It was a lot of time and energy. I'm super busy. Do you hear this? This is excuses. I'm acting this out for you so you understand that I too I too love to sit nice and cozy sometimes, okay? Your girl, she likes to be cozy. I can't be cozy. I don't have a choice. I, unfortunately, am just burdened. Not really, I'm kidding. I want people to move. I want them to move. I want them to free themselves from whatever is keeping them trapped, stuck, small. It is my whole purpose for existing. I have to. I don't want to create a membership. I would rather not. It sounds like a lot of work. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm going to have to hire new people. That's more expensive. You see, there's a lot of things, but I'm going to do it because if that helps 5 people, 10 people, worth it. If that changes 2 people's life, worth it. You see what I'm saying? Like, those are all of the excuses that came to me, but all of my intuitive, beautiful, amazing friends, and I have such an amazing support system who are saying, Anna Grace, people need this. You really need to foster your community, gather them together, allow them to talk to each other, so that you guys can connect. So I've thought about it and I switched it around and I realized that I have all these people who want readings from me. There's, my wait list and new people finding me, new high level CEOs and celebrities who I read for. There's a high demand for what I'm doing. So high that I can't even really fill the demand. I don't even know what to do with all these people. But I'm going to keep showing up every day because that's what I'm here to do, right? But I was like, hold up, wait a minute. What if I could offer one, a better price point for people? Because my readings, they are expensive. But you guys, it takes me like an entire day to prep, to meditate, to sit with someone. There's just a lot of work that goes into it. And I need to be in this like super elevated state. So it's a lot of my physical being and it's a lot of energy for me. Afterwards, I'll do 2 or 3 readings a day and I'm spent. So, I just have to be cognizant of I'm offering as much as I can and I go to sleep at night knowing I did the best I can. But there is this part of me, it's like, well, you could offer something to these people that one is more cost affordable. So if you want a reading with me, that you could get in at this monthly rate, which I don't know. This is all just happening. Two, I could provide, I'm thinking what I really want to do is this channeled movements, these healing dances. It's like I told you guys, it looks like a code unlocking things in our body when we move. And it's this hybrid that I'm creating, which is like Reiki dance. I'm going to start doing some going live on Instagram. Stay really tuned into my main page because in the next 2 weeks, I'm actually going to assist my friend Mimi. She's doing a retreat in the Bahamas and she wants me to do this dance activation for all the girls. And then I'm going to start going live on Instagram to test it. And so for you to see how much it changes your state and how much it will really free up stuck energy in the body. So I'm going to start testing. I'm going to start rolling it out. And then I was like, well, what if maybe I started to offer this on Kajabi in our community membership platform. And then I could offer like a group reading and kind of go more in depth. And that way people are getting at least some Akashic access and they're not just sitting on my wait list for so long. There's a happy medium to connect with me, but also to do this really fun kind of mood boosting energetic dance is really what it is. It's an energetic dance that tweaks our frequency and elevates us with a higher timeline. And it's powerful. I've been doing it for the last several months. I've kind of been like in a bit more private about it because I'm learning it for me. That's usually how it works for me. Like I've got to receive the information for myself and then I go on to teach, and it's just this ever evolving cycle where I learn, I listen, I teach and keep going. So, with that being said, my friends call me. They're like, "This is what," or my friends tell me, "This is what you need to do." I run through all the drama in my head. You heard the stories that I made up. The universe sends me like 3 people back to back that are like, "Hey, I, am a business coach and I specialize in building Kajabi memberships. Just wanted to reach out and see if you need any help." I'm like, "What?" The universe is working to help me out all the time. So that's another thing. If you just set an intention and go, "Hey, universe, this has been on my heart. A lot of people are saying this. I'm a projector. So when I get invited into an idea, so the invitation for me was people saying, "Hey, we wish you would do a membership." That was an invitation for me. Whatever your human design call to action is, listen to that. And when people started inviting me into the space, I said, "Universe, listen, she's a busy girl, but I'm going to do it because if that's where you need me and if that's a way that I could impact and help more people, I'm there. I'm going to show up. Please, angels for hire, come in. I'm going to hire an angel. If you haven't listened to that episode, you need to. It's called Angels for Hire, but I hired angels. I'm like, bring some people to me, bring them in. I typically, as a projector, attract help that I need to get projects and new businesses off the ground. So I said, whoever is aligned for me, bring them to me. I am allowing the perfect amount of information. I am allowing the guidance for whatever Instagram lives that I do. I am in the receptive mode. I don't know the how. And I got on a call last week with one business mentor who is going to set up my Kajabi community page. And she was pretty much like, "Anna Grace, you need more clarity." And I was like, "I know. But you know what? I don't have all the answers yet, but I know I'm moving in the right direction and I know this is going to help people and I'm just going to keep trusting the process." I just keep putting one foot in front of the other. I don't know the end result. I don't know. I really don't, but I'm just going to keep marching. And that's the other asset or the other aspect, excuse me, that I want to touch on is when creating this membership platform. One, I've always told you guys I want more of a community for you guys to connect with each other because I truly think the AG University community, I've met so many AGU girlies recently, like at the Symbiotica event I went to, the best people ever, like the sweetest, coolest, most like normal, but also spiritual baddie tapped in girlies ever. And I'm like, oh, I just wish like y'all all knew each other because I feel like we're all looking for each other. And I keep saying that. I'm like, I know I want more connection there, but I'm just trying to figure it out. And so even this is a great way to, connect you guys. So I kind of lost my train of thought there, but basically what I'm just saying is that I know there is something there and I don't have all the answers and I catch myself making excuses because I don't want to take on another thing. But you know what? This thing is important and I've gotten direct guidance from the Akashic Records that I need it and that you guys need it. And this is what I was saying. The main thing that I want to focus on is how excited I am to one, connect with you guys, two, have y'all connect with each other, and three, bring this kind of new hybrid movement creation genre that I've created into reality because it makes me so happy. There's a lot of I feel when you're starting a new venture, there is a lot of excitement and combining excitement with passion and then just taking action, you could literally take over the world. I'm not kidding. I'm like, that's your formula. That's your energetic formula for the day. And that's how I feel like I can't wait to teach people this stuff. And I haven't even honestly, like, I think there's so much more that I have to learn. I'm like truly I'm in the thick of it right now, but I know it'll come to me. I know that once I start just doing it with people, I'll feel so lit up because that's like my manifestation or not even manifestation. It's just a vision I've always seen for myself is helping people in live settings. Well, the first thing that I can do is gathering people and going live on Instagram, going live on a membership platform, going live in these places because it's fun for me to do the work, to show up for myself, to dance, to move. Because you guys got to realize everything that I teach y'all, I learned it for myself for a reason because it helped me. And then I'm here to teach it to you. And I enjoy teaching. I love being a teacher. I think it's the greatest gift that I have. And so all of that brings me so much joy and excitement. So I want you to know it's not that I am here saying like, oh, it's hard, woe is me, I don't want to do it. But I want to be realistic with you guys that that's how my brain works. My fear brain is like, oh, what if people don't sign up? What if I do all this work and then no one comes? Those are just normal thoughts that I have because I'm a normal human being, but I'm going to take action anyways. So I'm trying to give you guys a full ass picture as to what it looks like when you're starting something new and the resistance that comes up and the little jail cell that we build because we like it in here. It's cozy and I don't want to go out there because what if people don't come? What if they don't show? Who knows? We'll never know. We'll never know if we're just sitting here with the lights off. Okay. Whew. I'm honestly winded from this episode because I am honestly whooping my own ass a little bit. But it's a bit hindsight. I have made a lot of strides and the universe is sending me support, and I know that this process and this project is going to come to fruition with ease because it's meant to be and it's what I'm here to do. And but I also want to be realistic with you guys. I'm just like anyone else. Things pop up and I kind of want to talk myself out of it. And when you hear yourself talking yourself out of it, stop that. That's not you. That's not your intuition. Your intuition is fast. She's regal. She's not chatty. Chatty voices inside of our head. That's coming from our mom. That's coming from the outside world. That's coming from social media. All of that chattiness, zip it. Don't listen to it. Tune out. We have the option to allow it to affect us or not, and we're not going to. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk today, because this one, I hope I didn't punch you in the face too hard, but sometimes we all need a little kick in the pants. I needed a kick in the pants. But here's the thing. The growth portal is growth portaling. Okay. She's happening. Growth, I see it. I see it in my life. I see things coming together, things that I never ever thought that I would ever do or get back into or create a membership. Like all of that has not been on my radar, but suddenly it's here and I know it's here for a reason. And I would love to hear y'all's feedback, by the way. If you are interested in connecting with me on a monthly basis, we will be doing readings and this type of energetic dance. And ultimately, it's fun. This is a place for fun and connection and community. And of course, it'll be educational. And I don't even really have all the details. I'm in the early phases, but I know that this kind of movement piece that I'm moving into, I know it's going to be huge, and I'm really excited. So curious though, if you guys have anything that you would like to weigh in on there. I'm always all ears in these new early stages of a new venture. Woo! Okay, ladies, maybe a few gentlemen if you're here. I don't know. We have a couple of kings sometimes, but my queens, you've got this. Go out and win the day. Whether it's today, tomorrow, at any moment, it does not matter. You have the ability to change your state and take some action. Maybe that's just physical action, whatever it is. Get up, take a lap, come back, shake it off. I promise you will find clarity. You just got to start somewhere and you got to start moving. As always, I love you guys. Thank you for coming to class. Take notes and send this to somebody who needs a kick in the pants. And this is a kick in the pants with also a big hug at the end. I love you. Bye. As always, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you feel so called or if it feels aligned, I would love for you to leave me a review here. I always love reading your beautiful thoughts and messages. And also you can find me at Anna Grace Newell on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I will link all of my courses, AG University course curriculum in the show notes, along with if you're interested in booking an Akashic Records reading with me. My scheduling link goes out in my newsletter. It goes out once a month and it's completely free. I would love to have you there. As always, I'm a proud professor and you get an A+ for making it all the way through the end. Love you.